are you aware? Are you aware that since 2016, immigration officials were allowed by law in 2016 to carry arms?
That's the exact point I was making. That it started with us. There was the need to make sure that they were properly protected. This is 2016. I'm talking about 2007, 2008, 9. Mr. Chairman, with the greatest respect, can I be allowed to, for once, put this whole leadership argument beyond argument? I understand it entirely. What they are saying is not entirely wrong. The Honorable Chief Whip seems to be missing a few things up. My brother, Leader Atto, is trying to explain. Mr. Speaker, bear with me. I'm capable of explaining this matter. For once, put it beyond argument. Now, two documents are what they are looking at. One is the CI, which put in place the committee to start with. I'll give you some background, Mr. Speaker. The whole concept of putting in place a sole commissioner to go into this, Mr. Speaker, came about 2012 when there was this whole hullabaloo about what had happened during the administration of those sitting on this side. All the things that we talked about, you know the things I won't go into. And so it was decided that a commission to be put in place to investigate all these corruption allegations and all of that and all of that. Mr. Speaker, from nowhere, a decision was made that a single transaction which went back 12 years, which was the sale of so not entirely the sale, but the transaction in respect of the trade be added to the commission's deliberations. Mr. Speaker, I was invited to attend when what we call the Apple Committee, Mr. Speaker, was put in place. I attended. My brother Dabucho was there. My then minister at the time who was involved with this was also there, Kandapa. But I was at the center of it, so it was fair that questions were put at me. Now, Mr. Chairman, I put it to everybody here. When is it that anybody in recorded history heard that a deputy minister of 3 months at post sells a state asset like a ship? 3 months. We went to the ministry, I think about April or so. This thing took place about June, July. 3 months. Cabinet met. What had happened was that the GMPC that I talked about, Mr. Speaker, had been run aground. It's going to be lengthy. I want to explain it so the whole country understands. Mr. Speaker, somehow a decision had been consciously made by the GMPC outfit at the time that they were going to involve in what they call hedging. For all those around who know about the commercial transactions and whatever. Mr. Speaker, hedging is a kind of gamble. You lose or you win. A decision had been made that there was some gas in the Tunnel South. So some monies were going to be placed on the outcome of the discovery of gas, which eventually did not materialize. Mr. Speaker, they were doing what they call put, they were doing what they call whatever. In the end, you know what happened to GMPC? They were saddled with a debt of 47 million United States dollars. Now, at the time the Kufuor administration took over, Mr. Speaker, GMPC was nothing to write home about. Now, I tell you one conversation I had with the president. I have always said that discussions with the presidents and other top echelons of state are private and confidential. On this matter, I want to divulge it for once for the whole country to understand what went on. We went to the president about GMPC, and my point was that, Mr. President, share Nyankopon asere ni twi nyame onte say what we normally say. If it is the case that there's so much oil in Nigeria through this place, and at that time Cote d'Ivoire had also found something, why is it not that, Honorable Asaf-Mafo should be helped, should be encouraged to make sure that at least GMPC is found? They were so broke, it was heartbreaking. They had no P1 peswa. The president was disgusted. Look at what they done to GMPC. Well, Asaf-Mafo, go with them. Mr. President used the word. His exact words in Cree. Somebody should do the rendition in English. So we went out there, and in the end, as I said, we made the discovery. But Mr. Chairman, in the process, we discovered that EMPC had done so much atrocity. They had committed so much financial, you couldn't describe it. They bought rigs, the rigs that they are talking about, the drill ships and the rigs and everything. At a point in time, they had bought about 37 or so of those ones. I had described it. Those of you who were not around at the time, this is 2001. We went in there in June. So I'm telling you, going to memory lane, telling you about this. We had told the whole world that at a point in time, they had placed rigs in places like Brazil. Brazil, there was no human being from our country sitting on there, but GMPs was financing it. I was sent by my minister to go to Angola to go and plead with them that there was a ship sitting on the sea. We call it an NSP. We wanted it to be destroyed because there were human beings on that one. It wasn't yielding anything for the purpose of this. Please, let me complete the story.
No, Mr. Chairman, to be honest, the question I asked was direct. He can organize a press conference and say whatever he wants to say. He's not responding to my question. He's not responding to my question. So, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, I don't see the value of what he's saying to my question.
But the question was not allowed.
Mr. Chairman, that's okay. So, yes. So, I'll go with that.
Hold on. When you're done, then I'll continue.
No, I was just saying that he's going on.
Okay, can I continue?
Well, yes. You see, I asked that Honorable Suyini bring the report to me. He brought it to me. I asked that Honorable Katie Hammond bring his one to me. He brought it to me. I have not given it to members. I intended that we discuss it at this level. Before I'm aware, members are holding it and they are speaking to it. It becomes issue largely here like this. Now he says, let me explain the circumstances before you indict me. I don't think that I should deny him. And please, please continue. Just be straight to the point and precise.
I'll get to the point, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, so Mr. Chairman, what happened was that 2001 June thereabout, the Ministry of Energy was informed that from the activities I've just described, there was a debt of $47 million that GMPC had created. And what they had come about is this. They had entered into this heading with a company called Société Générale in France. And in the process, the famous or the notorious drill ship D511, Mr. Speaker, had been collateralized to the loan. Thank you very much. Before we came to power, we came in 2000. This collateralization was in 1993, 1994, up to 1998. Some of the people date 1996, others date 1998. So the ship had been collateralized as far back as 1998 to Société Générale for the debts that I've talked about. Mr. Chairman, the worst of it is this. The ship had been impounded in Amman. It had gone, not working for Ghana, it had gone to work for a company in India. On its way back, it was going to go to somewhere in the United Kingdom.
Mr. Chairman, I don't think what is happening is fair, Mr. Chairman.
You have no, please.
Mr. Chairman, I don't think it is fair.
Please.
Don't restrict questions. You don't restrict questions, but give the nominee the opportunity to set his... It's not fair. You restrict the questions, but you give him the free will to set his own questions and answer. It's not fair.
Honorable Suhini, you have the opportunity, you just jump in. You won't even allow me to regulate. That is how we are here. The things we agreed to do, you unilaterally decided to go behind it. So why shouldn't I allow him to respond? Let him respond. After that, you can ask him any questions you want. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this ship had been impounded. It had been arrested in Amman. We were informed about these developments and the fact that the matters were pending in the court of London, England. At cabinet, my minister put up this issue, the Attorney General and at the time had all considered the issues, and they were clear in their minds that the position of Ghana was hopeless. We had gone and then we had taken this loan, we had collateralized the ship, we had GMPC, so Ghana, GMPC had defaulted. This is how the debt came about. There was no way of pleading the case but to settle. This is where I entered the fray. I was informed that since I was a practicing barrister at the Bar of England and Wales, and this matter was pending at the Court of England in London, I was possibly, and of course related to the Minister of Energy, it was suggested that I should go and find out what we could do. Now, what to do was simply find out how much we could pay. They were asking for 46 million. I went to Paris, to the offices of Société Générale in Paris, back in London, to and fro. Mr. Speaker, as I've said, I was 3 months in place as a deputy minister. You can well imagine that a matter of this magnitude would not be taken at my level. Every twist and turn, I called back home. Every twist and turn, I was given my executive instruments, quote unquote. That is the documentation. Some of them signed by the then Attorney General, some of them signed by the then Chief Executive of GMPC.
Yes. So, did you appear before the
Apple Committee?
Yes. Were you at the time?
Yes.
Accused of anything? What were you accused of?
Nothing. Mr. Chairman, the report makes so interesting. It is what I've passed on to you. That's why I was getting pretty upset, but I had to take back the word that I used. Nothing of what my colleague Sohini read is in that report. The report on the facts, straightforward. What I've told you, the basis, and the fact that it says I was at the thick of affairs. Mr. Chairman, look at paragraph 7 of what I gave you. I mean, if you look at I think the comment, that subject is of the leadership in the report, which is attached to the document, the CI. You will see it. I've circled that one. So that deals with the leadership matter. Go on there to paragraph 11 of the report or something. You see, I've analyzed it. I've marked it with red ink. Have you seen it? No. Keep going, Mr. Chairman. Keep going. I'm not concluding. The world has to know this matter. Let's put it. Have you seen it? What I gave you. Have you seen it?
Are you talking about IX? Okay, X.
What does it say? Please.
Government of Ghana.
Please read that aloud. Read that aloud.
It's all right. I'm not the one answering the question.
Please read it for me.
Yes. The government of Ghana then decided to sell one of GMPC's marine assets, the drill ship Discover 511, a going profit concern to pay off the compromise settlement amount. Is what of that?
What it's about is that so 23 years or so later, somebody suggests that Katie Hammond was the government of Ghana. Is that fair? That is the commissioner clearly puts it beyond argumentation. The government of Ghana decided that ship, and there were reasons for why the government decided to do it.
So what is it?
Put it again this way, Mr. Chairman. Of the 47 million, following my arrangements and going around and the compromise which the special commissioner states over there, they decided instead of 47 million that we had accumulated to charge 19.5 million in place of the 47 million. I think I need a national award for that. 47 million, and we managed to get it to 19.5. Now, this is how but that is the point. 47 million was reduced to 19.5.
Ask the questions.
Of course, GMPC, NDC,
Honorable Katie Hammond, okay. Now, please ask your questions.
Okay, Honorable Katie Hammond.